All right. Hey, it's Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday. It's
It's
Thursday. We're
Thursday.
live. Look at this group.
Ready?
It's Friday? Is it Friday for you?
Friday.
This is very exciting. This is the day after April Fools. Does everybody have their favorite lie to talk about? Gonna discuss lie.
Yeah, for me, the best one was Amazon Actual Cloud, where they scientifically engineered a data center in the sky, blah, blah, blah. That was actually pretty well done.
All right. We'll talk about that. I'm very excited.
Does my keyboard come across?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, I have a new mechanical keyboard that's very loud.
Now, we've just been muting. Whoever's like talking just unmutes themselves, and then everyone else mutes. It's kind of
I thought Hangouts auto-detected your keyboard.
no.
It does, but there's a delay.
It tries to, but it doesn't. It's
It's not
easier to
100%.
just get in the habit of muting yourself when you're not talking and unmuting.
Do you know if there's a plugin where instead of having to move your mouse, you just hit a key on the keyboard and it mutes you?
Ooh, is there a hotkey? What's the hotkey?
I'd like to know. That seems like something that would
M?
be.
Hold on. It is not M. Wait. No, it is not M. Is it? Does Hangout support hotkeys? I don't even know. Is it?
Yes, hold on. I'm looking it up. I have an article.
Control M. Ooh, it's
Are
not.
you on a Mac or are you on a PC?
I'm on a Linux box.
Oh, get the fuck
Okay.
out.
And it'll probably come up under this. Let's see here.
All right. Well, we're live, so you guys can figure that out, and we're
Control
gonna
D.
Control D.
Control D.
Yep, that works. On mine, at least.
That is beautiful.
I love you. I mean, sorry.
Does that work?
That's really fun.
Is that working?
Yes, it works.
Yeah.
You can like totally hear me now, but then and then like that works.
Yep. Yeah, we can see the mute button.
Only been doing
Often
this
do
for
that.
3 years on Hangouts before I figured out what the mute button was.
Before Eric figured it out, you didn't even figure it out. You had to ask Eric to figure it out. Eric, did you send him a "Let me Google that for you" link?
Oh, wait a second.
Hold on, there's a hotkey for that. There's a hotkey
Okay,
for
I'll
that.
send you a let you fuck off link if.
Is that a Bitly? Is that? All right, we are live though, so we should start the show.
Clean tag.
Start the show.
For centuries, we've been warned about little green men. Now, they are coming. They're coming for you. Prepare for the attack of the android.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Thursday, April 2nd, 2015. This is episode 153 of Attack of the Androids every Thursday evening now. That's right, Thursday, so remember that. attackoftheandroids.com. Check it out. Matt Lee, it's Eric Finkenmeter. What's up, Eric?
Not much, Matt. I'm just Googling for fun things like Hangouts hotkeys.
Ooh, what's the Hangout hotkey of the night?
Control and D.
Nice,
Because when you do that, so nobody can hear what you're saying.
nice.
Great.
That's great. Also, Nick Carroll joining us, Control D. What's up, Nick?
Hey, not much. Just learning about fancy shortcuts.
Nice. Also back with us, Shane Brady. What's up, man?
Not too much. I'm just being the muse that other people use to find the necessary short keys.
That's all right. That's how we roll. I don't even have to search because I have friends that do that. It's excellent. I have Google that does that, actually. Sometimes Google will just listen. Did you see, so day after April Fool's Day, I pretty much just can't be on the internet during April Fool's anymore. There are a few clever things, which I do appreciate still, but most everyone just is like taking an article and writing like lies about it and then being like, nah, I'm kidding, April Fool's. It's like, that's not really the spirit of the holiday. It's not even a holiday, but I was searching, actually, I was writing an article for Stuff Stoners Like about this mass Rosin technique, and like, on my phone, and Chrome pops up, and it's like, do you want to take a Chrome selfie? And I'm like, I guess. I don't know. Do I? Probably. I don't know. But what I found was interesting. If you go to hashtag Chrome selfie, not only does it show you people staring at their phones, it also shows you what they're searching for, which I found really amusing. So, hashtag Chrome selfie. April Fools. April Fools
Yeah,
on
I was
you
looking there
guys.
to see if I could find anything incriminating. Like people are just like, oh, I didn't know that I was searching for, oh, that totally wasn't me. Accident.
It was like O face after O face. I couldn't listen. I couldn't look at it anymore.
Lovely. I find the whole thing irritating. Like even when I was going through for this show, I think there was an article. I forget who put it out. Maybe Android Police, where it was like, yeah, Google Reader, they've brought it back with material design, and I'm like, oh, that's neat. So I click the link, and it goes to a Rick Astley video, and it's fuck.
Yeah. They started rolling out some of these the day before, like in the evening, because in other parts of the world they're a little bit ahead of us. So I basically stopped watching news like the day before in the afternoon and evening. It's like I don't know what's going to be real or not. But yeah, the one that I liked was Google Actual Cloud, where they put a data center in the sky and they go through this long 3-minute video explaining the technology behind this. And I'm like, wow, they're going deep with this one. But and Samsung had one. They had one where it's like the Galaxy Edge Blade phone, where it's like a butcher knife, but it's the phone. The Edge, anyway. So, yeah, it got a little crazy yesterday.
I think Pack Maps was my favorite one.
Oh yeah,
That was a good one. That was definitely a good one.
that's still running now. So
Yeah, I actually hope they leave it up because it's actually quite challenging because streets are not designed for Pac-Man, and it's actually very challenging to play. And I like those because they're not like trying to make fun of anyone, or some are trying too hard. You could always tell those are trying to create something. I think things like Pack Maps, wasn't a couple years ago 8-bit maps or something like that?
Yeah.
Google.
It was like
Minecraft.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was pretty good. And ones that make fun of like I tell you, the weakest one, other than like the annual GNRs getting back together ones, are Amazon put up. They retroed back to the 1990s, but they wouldn't commit to it. They had to mention it that it was enabled.
I tell you, I got up before I had to go to work, and I needed to order some headphones because I'm in this lab and I can't listen to music, so it's driving me crazy, like very monotonous work, like washing things and everything. And so I hopped on Amazon, and it was like, hey, remember when Amazon was like in 1996? And I'm like, I do not even have time for this right now. And I clicked, like just inadvertently clicked, and it went away and brought me to the reel. I was like, oh man, I was almost so close just going to give up and be like, screw it.
Yeah, Google had instead of google.com, it was com.google, to where if you just did com.google, it's reverse. So the entire Google page, the standard google.com page, and any results that you search for would be.
So you know what that means, though, right? Then that means they own the TLD for .google.
Yeah.
Did that work outside of Chrome, though? I didn't test it outside of Chrome.
I was actually using Chrome, so I didn't test.
Was it a host file thing? It might have been like a little update they pushed that no one noticed.
Right, that's
the host file. But I wouldn't put it past them that they do own the TLD for things like that.
Google, yeah, I wouldn't.
For internal use or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought the Amazon one was kind of funny. I understand what you're saying that they didn't commit, but like that's the only one that I was in any way. Well, Pac-Man was entertaining, but I was actually entertained by Amazon because I'm like, oh god, I remember this. Like you just sort of cringe and laugh, and then you click on something, and then it's back to normal.
Yeah, but
you know the other.
Command.
The other. Yeah, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
This is all you, Matt Lee.
Go, Shannon.
Let's all sit here in awkward silence. How's that sound? That's good listening.
I'm really good at that.
See, now I forgot what I was gonna say, so never mind.
All right, let's move on. What's next?
Yeah.
Everybody's too damn polite.
Oh, I remember. I was gonna mention I also enjoyed the awkward chillness of people's posts when they were like, well, I've had enough of like Facebook or insert whatever social media network here, so I'll see you guys in the real world only. I'm getting off of this. And people leave comments like, "Oh, that's good," like they were happy for them. I think a lot of those backfired when people were, but then they're like April Fools, and yeah, it wasn't very good after.
It kind of reminds me of how Black Friday's been ruined and become a joke. Black Friday now starts on Wednesday
Yeah.
before Thanksgiving. So
Yeah, and it continues to the next Monday and beyond. Yeah.
I'm actually curious if companies like Google, because they actually put work into that, if they get any other benefit, like that's solving some other problem that they use as an example. Like, is there anything turning maps into Pac-Man? Is there any other practical use they get out of
Ingress?
it?
Wasn't that Ingress?
I was gonna say Ingress is like a classic example of
But more so,
crowdsourcing.
probably not like an actual. I think it's more like goodwill and PR than anything.
Well, no, but I mean, I don't want to say this complicated, but looking at a map and then creating paths around it can be complicated graph theory. So I wonder if that's like a challenge they give the developers. Because it also determined, like if I did it on my street, it would say, you don't have enough streets to play Pac-Man. Because I just live in the boonies.
You
so
don't
you
get
gotta find a spot on All right, then you move it around, and it figures out, where the map crosses over, all that stuff loops and all that. So, there's some actual, maybe like a hackathon type thing where you're just doing it for skills.
It's probably something they do with like new Googlers, and I can't call them Nooglers, but I think it's something that they're just like here, and then they collect them all, and then when they need them, they reach into the old hat of silly code bits. Hand me that code that turns Street View into Pac-Man.
It's an interview thing. You get to your third interview. It's like, listen, now you have to make the April Fool's joke.
Exactly. All right, Android stuff. 4,000 milliamp battery, Motorola battery pack, $20. Are you guys down with that? That's probably like twice what your phones have.
It's pretty big, but not as big as like other things. I was surprised when I saw the original price.
Can I show you something? You see this?
How many milliamp hours is that?
Oh, only 20,000. It's fine.
You've probably had that for a while, though. It is kind of interesting.
I haven't had to charge this since I've gotten it. And I've charged my phone multiple times. I charged my e-cigs on it. It's just a brick. It weighs like 18 pounds, but it also has a light, which is pretty useless. But yeah.
I have a 15,000 one that's around that size too. It has a flashlight in it and all that.
Power ad, it's good. It's good stuff for sure. I like it. It's ridiculously big, but you can charge like 8 laptops with it, so that's cool.
Yeah. I'd like to see if you could charge the Pixel on it.
If the Pixel was USB, you probably could.
The Pixel 2 is USB-C.
You just need an adapter.
Ooh.
But yeah, you could charge it. It just depends on the speed at which that can actually output power.
This had the most amps. It's 2.1 amps.
That's pretty good. That's what your typical tablet uses to charge. So
I haven't tested it, but that's what it says. It's probably like 1.5. No, actually, it charges my phone really fast, which is cool.
The reviews on the S6, which I haven't gotten yet, are middling on the battery, so I'm thinking if you go to a conference, maybe I will need to pick up a battery pack.
That's exactly what I got this for.
Yeah, conferences.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only phone that I've ever had that's get me through a day no problem is the OnePlus One, but it has a terrible camera on it.
I get through a full day in the Moto X.
Full use, though, I feel like conference use is way more than normal use. Like you're overly using your camera if you're using that for your camera. You're using GPS because you're lost or whatever.
Or you're constantly bouncing through different, signals.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, your cell signal's terrible. So
yeah.
hunting.
Like having to punch other phones off the network to get a connection.
When I was at Dragon Con last year, I had the 1+1, and it was a champ. I mean, there's 80,000 people in like a 4 or 5 block area, and probably 78,000 cell phones all going off. So I'm concerned that the S6 won't hack it. But yeah, what can you do?
You probably also have cancer leaving one of those events with just how much.
You cannot get cancer from a cell phone.
Yeah, if somebody tweaked their antenna to send more of it, then it would. It doesn't break bonds though, like it's not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, I'm kind of excited for this if it actually happens. Motorola bumping some devices up to 5.1, because I'm still on 4.4.4 on my first gen Moto X here. So
Yeah,
that'll
forget this 5.01 stuff. Let's just go to
I know,
5.1. Yeah.
Honestly, I am now kind of glad that I didn't. I don't know. The tablet I messed with that had 5 and 501 on it. It was a Nexus 7 second gen, and it didn't have any problems. So I don't know. This is different from a phone that has other antennas and basebands and all that mess. But
yeah, I don't. I mean, it's probably best to go to 5.1. I don't know how much longer they say it's going to be to get 5.1. I don't think there were huge changes between 5 and 5.1.
no, but if you're on these first gen Moto X's, you're on 4.4.4 or less. So
It was a lot of battery tweaks, if I
nice
remember right.
Yeah, and
Oh,
something
sorry.
with notifications and Bluetooth. I think there were some changes to Bluetooth LE too.
My phone lies. It is not up to date, but that's okay. It thinks, and it's just not that smart.
Yeah, I mean when I had the Moto X 2014 second gen.
That's what I want.
Yeah, they had a few. I never got it to 5.1. I don't think it ever came out for that. Or I sold it before it did. But they had quirks where things would lag here and there. So I don't think. I think they may have rushed that a little bit and they wasn't quite ready. Because they tweak it themselves. And so.
That's weird because my first gen still runs really smooth. I mean, for 4.4.4, I'm not playing a bunch of games or anything on it, but I mean, what it does, it's.
Yeah,
It's weird.
I'm just saying there was some jankiness with the 2014 with Lollipop.
Yeah, I'll just say this with my original Nexus 7 that I got in August 2012, that it was performing fine under KitKat. It wasn't, like, to me, significantly slow, but as soon as I got Lollipop on it, it practically killed it. And as far as usability, it got better when I flashed it again and just made it completely bare, but even after time it just got bad again the more stuff I put on it. So Lollipop is more demanding than KitKat, so if you have an older device, you may actually feel that in terms of usage.
Is that just all the visual stuff, or like what's so? I wonder.
I thought about that, so I switched to the standard Android launcher, not the Google Experience launcher, but the Android launcher that comes with every version of Android that you can switch to and stuff like that. And it was a little bit better, but I think it's just there's enough stuff going on underneath things with Lollipop that it's not the launcher itself. It's something else in terms of how it's working, to where it just requires more.
I feel like too, and we've talked about it before, that like these phones aren't made with the highest end stuff because they're made to be tossed in a couple years. So your RAM isn't going to last for 4 years. Something's going to burn out, and you're going to notice it get slower and slower. You can wipe it and do all that, and it'll speed it up a little bit. But as the RAM degrades, you can almost feel it. Like if you hold onto a phone, you can definitely notice it.
Yeah, I like with the Shield tablet. I noticed like 90% of the time it flies, and there's this one thing that just janks out a bit, and it's something wrong, Eric?
We hear a cat.
Oh yeah, he wants to eat. He's hungry.
Your cat does that too? My roommate has a cat back home that does that every day at 6 o'clock. Is it 6 o'clock?
It's like an alarm. Alarm cat.
Every 2 hours it goes off in this case. But there's things in Lollipop that I think there's still some jank in there that they need to work on. It's no different than the iOS 8.1, 8.2. I mean, they have the same things. There's places they just haven't fixed all the lag and cruft and all that. I don't notice it as much on the Nexus 5. I guess I don't really have a new phone that I'm running it on. Cause,
I'm running it on my Nexus 5, and I just picked up this Nexus 9 a couple weeks ago, and both are running great for me. And the Nexus 5 I've had for several months at least, however long I've had it, and it's been running like a champ. I've not noticed anything with that, but maybe on a smaller display I wouldn't notice as much if it was on a tab or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I was able to sell my Nexus 9 to some sucker, so I'm gone with that thing. But the Nexus 5 runs pretty good. I don't know. I think it must be very much tuned to the hardware. But
I think Shane just has really weird expectations because that Nexus 9 runs beautifully.
I think Shane's just a Samsung fan.
All right.
Yeah, he just loves Samsung.
So I finally get an NVIDIA Shield tablet that allows me to turn it on and off. Except now it makes a buzzing sound when you're using it.
What? What's buzzing?
Are you sure it's not your cat?
Stop buying aftermarket crap that doesn't work, Shane.
If you Google for NVIDIA Shield buzzing, you'll see lots of people in the forums having the same problem.
This is so weird. NVIDIA Shield buzzing. I'm Googling it now, Shane.
You're also I
don't
on
even have
your
to
NVIDIA
Google it
Shield.
because Google knew it auto-completed, so I'm going to take your word there. That's how many people.
But no, it's I actually like the tablet a lot. I like I think pen input on tablets are highly underrated, and it's making me wonder about maybe I should get a Note, Samsung Galaxy Note, because my handwriting sucks. I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of things you can just do faster with a stylus. I mean, you know.
Or speaking to it, if you're in a situation where people aren't staring at you for doing so.
Well, when the Apple Watch people come out and become king and queen d-bags around for their $8,000 watches, people talking to their phones won't get noticed as much.
That's true. They'll be busy calling 911 to help the people that just got their $8,000 watch run them jewels on.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do you want to talk about Google and the EU and antitrust, or lack?
I think you mean anti-American.
Anti-American.
So in Europe they're very anti-American companies. They made Microsoft do some weird browser election and all this stuff.
Shane, is this a case of they hate us because they ain't us? Or
It's also they like our money more than they like us.
They want money.
do they not know that? I mean, we could print them all the money they want. Do they not know that money is not? It's really not worth anything. It's worth.
They just have different views on competition. Like they don't really like competition.
So they legislated out? Is that?
Yeah. I mean that's what this is all about.
Well, yeah, they're threatening to take them to court, and of course the court is likely going to side with the government that's suing. My
understanding from a website is that they actually don't even have they're almost like judge and jury at the same time the way it works. So there's not going to be a trial. They're just going to decide what to do. But no, I mean they're getting lobbied by Google competitors, and they're arguing against I mean, it's the same thing in the United States, too, right? Like, we create this illusion that Google's monopoly. And so what are they a monopoly of? Well, they're a monopoly of search. Well, what the hell is search? How can they have a monopoly on search? How can they own the entire supply of search and information?
That's true, right? Because when I lose stuff, you know what I do? I search for it. Just saying. I searched for my keys just this morning, as a matter of fact. And you know who I didn't ask where my keys were?
Okay.
Google. I didn't.
But it's just weird. Like in the past, monopolies were always over like oil and steel and physical things that you could actually block access to.
Yeah.
And the only reason the only reason why Android has like 80% market share in Europe and is because iPhones are too expensive. And the only reason why Google is dominating search over there is because Bing has focused pretty much only on American search, and so it sucks over there. So, I I don't know what this is supposed to be. Like, is Google really supposed to help? Does Google have an obligation to help companies like Yelp and TripAdvisor and all that? In the United States, they don't, because we have something called the First Amendment, but they don't have that in Europe. And so they can manage the competition. And, they'll put some stupid sanctions on like they do with Microsoft. Anti-Google people will love it. And, 5 years from now, the world will change and those sanctions will look stupid.
Well, I ordered a... Oh, go ahead, Matt.
No, you go ahead, Eric.
Well, fine. I don't know if you guys, if you saw the article, but Der Spiegel, which is a German magazine, they recently had a cover which had like Sergey Brin, it had Mark Zuckerberg, like a Marissa Mayer, like it had a whole bunch of like American IT, leaders on there, and I read a translation of it and ended up buying the magazine itself, but basically it was just like railing against these American IT companies, and I think these two things are very much related. It comes down to a mistrust. I think a lot of it is mistrust. It's jealousy, and quite frankly, they're seeing that a lot of their companies can't hack it. So when that happens, they legislate to at least artificially make other companies more successful. Maybe do something like this so that way a company like Nokia or is it Jala, like the European company that makes like the Android-ish phones.
Yeah, former Nokia people went and created Jala in there.
Yeah. It's unsurprising. I don't think that, like, personally, with my view, I don't think they have a leg to stand on. But it's the EU. They play by different rules than we do here. So
one of the biggest complainers to the EU is Microsoft, who also destroyed Nokia, which eliminated any competition for Android. Now that would be pretty Machiavellian if they killed Nokia. It's just like you catch Google and antitrust in Europe. But I don't think Ballmer is that smart.
I think they did that in an attempt to save Windows Phone, and unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it's actually helped. So we'll see how that goes.
No, but even before that, they had a sweetheart deal with Nokia because Elop used to be for Microsoft,
yes.
And come on.
He's what actually changed Nokia to actually go exclusively Windows Phone. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know what? I can't think. Is Spotify maybe the only company from Europe that's ever hit it big in the U.S.?
I'm not sure.
Everything else is
there are
done.
more, but
Waze was doing pretty good, and they're from Israel.
And also Mexican dirtweed and like drugs. Those have made it. Those are also big.
There have been a lot of foreign imports that have done well in America.
Sure.
I was referring to the EU where this antitrust is taking place.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, as far as EU, no, I can't think of anything.
No. Nope. NATO? Does that count?
Yeah, where do I get the NATO app from? Is that in the Google Play Store?
Hold on. That's too bad. It's like 1.8 bill, that's really nothing. It's almost just like a cheap payday for the EU. Who gets that money? Like, where does that, is that like back to us, the people, or them, I guess?
It goes to bureaucrats.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So they create a system of no competition, and then wonder why American companies, could do so well. And then you're right. And somebody mentioned they're also annoyed about the Irish sandwich and all that stuff. And, it's just stupid. Somehow everybody's convinced themselves that a horizontal text box and a submit button is an actual thing that one company can own, and it's just not.
There's only so many of those in the world, Shannon. I'm sorry, and Google has a monopoly on them. What can you say?
It's like bits, man. There's only so many until you make more. Then there's more.
Google narrowly avoided. It reportedly narrowly avoided antitrust issues here in the United States too, until they made some changes.
That wasn't that was misreported though. It wasn't that narrow. One group within the FTC, the lawyers wanted to sue, but everybody else didn't, which means it was a unanimous decision by the FTC. the allegations by the lawyers were not exactly like rocks. You know, they were not exactly sitting on rock solid. And I think they just base it on, without proving it, that Google's a monopoly and therefore operates under different rules. And I just don't think that's the case, even in the United States. They're not a monopoly.
Let me ask you guys, would you guys use Google search if they didn't have all like Gmail, like all these other apps? Like, do you use them because you use the apps so it's there, or is it genuinely the best?
Well, I mean, I don't think this. No. I think just search is better. Okay, but I wouldn't be like in the. I would switch to Microsoft if all the other things work better than the rest of the stuff that Google does. I don't think search is not the differentiator for me. I mean, Google it does have the best search engines, but it's everything combined with the phone. I think now Microsoft just doesn't have that.
They did that ecosystem and they did it right.
Yeah.
Right, and if you think
considering how not right they did the social networking for such a long time, like they built one ecosystem well and another not so well, which I find interesting.
Well, I think they did. I think Google Plus is fine, but there's certain market forces and social.
Yeah, no, I do too. I love it, but not all people are there. I have all my photos there. Like, it's way better. I'll post links to my photo albums on Google Plus on Facebook. Like,
you can ban people from your channel, which is something you can't do from like Twitter, and other.
Yeah, and I just like it. I like having them all on my phone without actually having them on my phone because the first gen Moto X runs out of space pretty quick. So delete stuff from gallery, but it's still in photos in the cloud, which is awesome.
Yeah, I think that, so if you think about Google's actual mission is to organize the world's information, right? It's not to be a search engine.
And to make it useful.
Right. So that mission, okay, that overall mission, which they've been on the same march pretty consistently for the last 15 years.
They started early with it, and they were consistent with it, and they didn't run it like a committee like you have with Microsoft, and that's why Microsoft has been slow to adapt, in my opinion.
And so you end up with the best product for telling me everything I need to know and giving me the tools to find out what I know. In Microsoft's case, they've been all over the board. People seem to not be able to remember this, but like around 2007, before the iPhone and mobile took over, Steve Ballmer was thinking that he was going to compete with Google as a search engine. He actually said he could envision a time in the future where most of Microsoft's revenues came from advertising because he had Google envy.
Yeah,
now
not only that. Oh, I'm sorry, go on.
Go ahead, Nick. No, you go ahead.
I was going to say real quick, also Windows Phone was a bigger chunk of the market back then, and they were making inroads then before the iPhone came out. So they were doing some things
before any Android. Like, I couldn't get a Treo on Verizon, and there was this 6700 Windows.
A Windows Phone was going to. A Windows Phone was going to be my first smartphone. I ended up getting a BlackBerry, but
I was listening to podcasts on Windows Mobile because BeyondPod had an app on that thing. There was a couple of really good ones. It was decent for back then.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm sorry to interrupt, Shane. Go on. What were you talking about before I interrupted you?
Oh, well, just Apple is pretty consistent with their mission, right? So if you want to be in the Apple universe, you can. Though they're not as full featured. Microsoft, they just constantly have envy. They're now about to go on their third reboot of their phone platform, right? Windows Mobile, Windows 7, Windows 8. Now it's Universal Apps, and you can't string developers along like that. They just can't figure out what the strategy is. And all they ever do is copy other people. And I don't mean to say that their developers and their employees don't have their own innovations, but the leadership has mostly been in copy mode. And so they constantly envy Google. They constantly envy Google and Apple.
Yeah,
and so,
I mean, I found it funny they were deriding Chromebooks for so long, and all of a sudden you see things like the HP Stream and other netbooks or Bing books or whatever you call those things, in the same market as Chromebooks, and it's like, I don't know.
Can I tell you, I was ordering a Chromebook for my girlfriend, and I saw that HP in Amazon's Chromebook section, and I didn't even I one-clicked it like an idiot. and thought it was a Chromebook, and it got here and it was like Windows. So we sent that shit right back and got the Chromebook.
You're like, Bing!
Yeah, like I don't want a Windows laptop with specs for a Chromebook. That's not what we wanted. We wanted a cheap Chromebook. Yeah. All three of us rocking those Asus Chromebooks though now. Me, Bob, and my girlfriend. Like they're such great laptops.
They are, and now that some of them are going to be able to start running Android apps, you know.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. I've been wanting to see that happen for a while. I mean, it's been speculated even before they announced it last year that that you could integrate Android into Chrome, and that looks like they're doing it, like for real.
Yeah, they needed to finish ART first before they could do that. I don't think Dalvik could have handled it. So,
We made sure Intel ones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't get the ARM ones. But there's nothing you can say about Chrome. Like they're really good for what 90% of people do.
Yeah.
I would never tell my mother. Yeah, I would tell my parents. Just get Chromebooks. In fact,
I got my mom one. She loves it.
I'm just about to send my nephew a Chromebook, right? A $200 Chromebook.
That's all they need, dude. All their stuff is in the web. That's all I need. Like all my writing, my articles, all my hip hop stuff, like all of that stuff is in the cloud, and I can.
Is there
hit
Minecraft?
What?
Is Minecraft in the cloud? I mean,
I don't play Minecraft. I don't know what that is, Eric.
you're not a kid.
I'm a mature adult. I'm sorry.
It's
Well, I mean,
not
the
what.
cool thing-
But you can't say like it has everything they need. I mean, like kids want to play games and crap. Like that's not
We're
necessarily
not
true.
talking about kids, dude, bro.
I thought you were talking about kids.
No, like old kids.
Who's talking
dude.
about kids? Oh, like older kids.
Yeah.
You said, I heard a nephew.
Yeah,
I
never-
have I have
like in
nephews
their 40s,
4 or
bro.
5.
Now I'm just trolling. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, actually, Eric does bring a good point. Mobile games on phones and tablets suck compared to computer games, like
Get a
actual computer games.
freaking Xbox or a PlayStation. Like, what do you want out of it? I thought Shadowgun Dead Zone was perfectly great for a first-person multiplayer shooter on an Android tablet.
No,
What-
they're all bad.
No?
What Google's done now is they sort of opened the door to, in theory, you could play all these games, on a Chromebook. Like just even a Chromebook like the Chromebook I bought a couple years ago, Acer C710. That's still more powerful than most smartphones. It's probably still more powerful than my Nexus 5. It's a 2-year-old, Intel-powered, Chromebook.
Aren't Eric and I buying some Asus Google TV pretty soon?
MB in the chat says, I feel like Shane is just a Microsoft hater. Are you just a Microsoft hater, Shane?
I'm trying to let me think. Not really. More like
Do you have
Microsoft management.
Do you have any Windows devices?
I have one Windows machine to start up Steam, so I can play Dying Light on it. That's all it gets used for.
Because Steam sucks in any other way.
No, I prefer PC gaming because I find the mouse keyboard combination superior to the
It is
Xbox
nice,
controllers.
right? It is nice.
So, and my wife, I mean, she has PC. She has a laptop and a PC, and a new iPad, by the way, which is pretty nice. I don't hate Microsoft. It's not like I don't even dislike Apple. Apple users, that's a different story, maybe. No, but seriously, I don't hate it.
So, not yet, at least.
Well,
One
when my MacBook Pro 2012 or 2011, which was like souped up at the time, after 2.5 years, it just slowly degraded, right? And I had to figure out how much I want to spend. And I'm speccing out MacBooks and PCs, and it's like I could buy 3. I could go through 3, mini desktops in like 3 years, and I would still come out ahead of what it would cost me to buy the Mac, one MacBook or one Mac Mini. So that's why I'm on Linux now, because of the cost of Microsoft or of a MacBook. So honestly, I would suggest if I would tell my mother what she should buy, get a Chromebook first, because all she does is Facebook and want to be able to send us email. I can't recommend a MacBook for anybody unless you have a lot of disposable wealth. And the problem with Microsoft,
It's specialized. You're doing music. You're running Ableton. You're doing video editing. You're
yeah, but
running
even
that kind of stuff. You're not doing on a Chromebook. I edited a little bit with the YouTube editor, but if I want to do anything major, I'm going pro and I'm using Windows Movie Maker. You know where that's at? It's on Windows. So
yeah.
It's in the accessories folder, you know.
the accessories folder. You just window key and then just start typing WIN.
And I know the Windows PCs are coming down in price and all that, but I think those are going to suffer from like what we were just talking about with cheap Android tablets. In 2 years, they're all
They
like,
better not. If my Lenovo has any more malware on it, first of all, that was not cool, Lenovo. First of all,
Yeah,
I cleaned
Superfish.
that stuff out like a long time ago. But if my memory starts degrading, I'm gonna be so mad. This though was pretty decently priced, and it does all this audio podcasting and all that. I have 8 gigs of RAM in it, which it only came with 4. But
yeah. What do you guys think about the Chrome bits, which is an actual real product, not an April Fool's joke?
I think that's pretty cool, and actually, like myself and others have been wanting to see something like that for the longest time, because the what is it, the Chrome box, or what do you call it? Can't think real quick. Was actually not built on Chrome, is built on Android, and then here you actually have a Chrome computer, in a dongle or whatever. You just plug into
Chrome?
your TV.
Do you mean Chromecast?
Yeah, Chromecast. For some reason, I couldn't. The word cast was too hard for my brain to recover.
Yeah,
I'm
isn't
less
Chrome-
excited about the Chrome bid. I liked the other thing that they announced, the Chromebook Flip. I thought that was a cooler, announcement. I'm not gonna plug the Chrome thing into my TV and use it. Like that's stupid. And if I want to plug it into a monitor, I'll just get one of those like Acer or Asus like all-in-one Chrome boxes.
Yeah.
what if
Chrome
Now-
Chrome box.
what if? Stay with me here. What if monitor companies started selling monitors, dumb monitors, but that just had a little thing in it that had Chrome if you wanted to use it. If you didn't have your computer with you, you just somehow had the monitor. I don't know. It'd be something cool to like send with every monitor. It wouldn't take much more space, and it'd be a huge marketing thing for them.
But that's actually just a Chrome box, right? Don't they
Right,
have-
but I mean, you're getting a monitor that you're using for your computer, but then it like
Yeah, that would be an interesting
extra-
value add. That would be an interesting value add. Like if you buy a monitor with a G-Sync module, that's like $180 just for that module. All it does is give you variable refresh rates. Well, $100 computer just built into your monitor. There are $700 or $800 monitors out there that people buy. If you buy a $300 monitor or it's $400 with a computer in it, that may be worth getting.
Yeah, I think it's cool from a geek point of view, but it doesn't seem like a real product to me because you still need a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse. So I mean, it's not portable.
Well, a lot of these have USB, ports in them. You just plug in a keyboard and mouse, just a regular $10 keyboard, $10 mouse that you might just have lying around or whatever.
Right, but this requires a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse.
Oh yeah,
Chrome
for the
bit.
Chrome bit. Yeah.
Now the Chrome Flip seems to me like the perfect computer for school.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if that makes some inroads in the education market.
Yeah, Eric,
Yeah,
that was
people
the
have
one
been
you
saying
liked?
that though. I don't know. Like for school, they were doing that when I was going to college. The Windows convertibles were supposedly big. I think I saw one person with them,
terrible.
and it really wasn't much
They were
value.
They were terrible computers.
terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. Horrible.
But these are $250, right? So they're
And it
already
weighs,
in
like,
the school's
18
budget.
pounds. No.
The Chromebook.
Well, yeah.
Flip-
I think for the price, that's good. I just like the flip portion. I like because I could see me using that like sitting on the couch. But in a classroom, I still don't see how it would make any real difference. I think you'd want something with a keyboard. Like you'd want the keyboard part out. You wouldn't want it flipped.
Right. But what I mean is, though, like I don't think convertible laptops are practical. I mean, cost-wise for anybody to put in schools. Despite what the commercials say, students are not buying loads and loads of Surface Pro 3s.
No, they're not. People buying those are people making TV shows and movies. They're buying
Yeah.
so they have props in their TV shows and
Well,
movies.
I'll just say that like schools are not so much interested in a notebook that flips backwards. What they're more interested in are durable notebooks that when they purchase 1 year, it'll be around for at least a couple of years. And in many cases, what a lot of these school districts do, they just buy something for 2 years, and then they essentially give it back to who they purchased from, and they purchase a new set of Chromebooks or whatever. So that's something that's popular. But the focus for the education market is really durable, repairable notebooks or products, whatever they use, for
It's
the
also
students.
pretty awesome, right? You log in your school account, you leave the computer at school, you come home, log into your computer at home, and boom, there's all your stuff.
Yeah, when I do it, like I take a night class every Monday, Wednesday night, and we have these workstations at college that they basically do something called a deep freeze, and it basically, when you reboot the computer, it completely wipes it and starts from scratch. But what I'll do is, when I sit down, I log into Chrome, all my apps and stuff load up within a minute, and then I've got everything I'm used to. I've got Google Drive and all that kind of stuff. And then when I'm done, when I leave class that night, I basically reboot the machine and it's completely wiped and everything like that. So that's something some of the schools are doing. So you can log in and do whatever.
Ghosting them.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing.
Let's see. Do you guys see this? Google cutting Android malware in half in 2014. I mean, that's cool. I mean, it shouldn't have been there in the first place, I guess. Like
That part's easier said than done, but yeah.
Well, yeah, I get that.
But I do
get
agree that
that they're killing it.
yeah. Well, I mean, the Android ecosystem is overhyped in terms of how much malware is built into it.
Well, we talked about a lot of these, like the SMS bugs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's a lot of it too is poor user education, I guess.
Yeah.
Users just randomly tap and click and point and yes and accept everything. It's
Yeah, and so people, I guess, they get walked through the process of allowing third-party sort of apps on their phone.
Yeah, like at the stores, they're like, and here's your new phone on our new wireless broadband network. Feel free to turn it into a bot in your local botnet neighborhood.
Yeah.
When I was at Southwest Airlines last year, the Android app to use to connect to their in-flight entertainment system, which doesn't work, actually instructs you to uncheck, instructs you how to allow third-party sources onto your device, and then they give you an APK for you to download to your phone or device.
It's not in the store. That's not very legit, Southwest Airlines. What the hell?
Terrible. And I'm like, I don't even know what the security is like on an airplane, but I mean, could there be? What was that thing? What was that thing you used to be able to do with a fire sheep or what was it?
Yeah, Firesheep, cookie hijacking. Remember
Yeah.
that forced all the websites to go SSL, like Facebook and Twitter and whatnot.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know if you can even do it on an airplane, but I can't think of something less secure to do than just download some random SDK on the, God knows how secure that network is. I just thought that was hilarious.
Go ahead and check this box, and your flight attendant will upload your malware shortly.
The one thing I found interesting in this report, because it's a larger report about the overall, I think they call it like the state of security, like state of security or state of the union or something like that. One thing I found interesting though was that they said that fewer than 0.15% of devices that download only from the Play Store had potentially harmful applications.
Mm-hmm.
So they're saying, I mean, I guess we should have known that, like, Bouncer's not perfect, like these things that they do are not perfect, but still, like, there's a percentage, a very small percentage, to where you could be downloading only from the Play Store and still get infected with harmful applications.
Just not as much. And
I mean,
that's true.
it's much less, and we don't have the numbers from Apple for the same thing.
Sure.
And you want them.
I'm sure. What, Shane?
Oh, they won't tell you.
No, of course not.
Did you guys talk last week about Google changing their review process?
No, we didn't. Go ahead.
Well, that's probably part of what they were trying to do, because the headlines were ranging from Google does something pretty cool or to Google is now Apple because they're now reviewing your apps. Now, for most people who wrote this, who never have tried to submit an app to either store, let me tell you, we were submitting versions of our app for the last 6 months, never once even noticed there was a difference to them reviewing your apps ahead of time. Meanwhile, Apple, it's a crapshoot when your app gets, sometimes it can be 10 days before they even start to review it. And they don't actually review it because you can't review an app for security in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You can,
Wouldn't you think, isn't it just like it's going through a series of tests, and if it flags certain things, maybe somebody looks at it a little closer?
Yeah, like different algorithms or something.
Yeah,
that's what Google is doing, but they're kicking Apple's ass on this, right? Because no one even noticed that Google was doing this, because you don't think much of it if it takes anywhere from 3 to 6 hours for your update to get pushed to the store.
Right.
But
if it's like 3 months later, you're like, why is my app still not in the store?
And it drives us crazy, right? Because you release a version and you find bugs, but you can't. With Android, we can just push out a new app version every 2 days. Just
well,
do
and
it.
they have. Are you using all of the beta release stuff and all the test stuff that you can release it out, the soak tests and everything? I'm not sure if iOS lets you do that, but I thought that was a really cool thing Play Store lets you do.
Yeah, it's part of the problem with our app group up at app.com is that the bugs that we find are very hard to. And when I say release, I mean you can do stage releases. You only got to 100 users and all that. But even so, the thing with Android is you could release the apps to a couple hundred people, get the bugs, see something happens in the real world production environment that you can't simulate in dev.
Right.
And then 2 days later, you make a bunch of bug fishes and push it out and forget about it. And the next morning, you wake up and it's updated. With Apple, it's like you have to wait 7 to 10 days for every single review, no matter how small the change is. And there's a few tricks that may work now and then that you can get something ahead of the line. A lot of times, you're just whatever they decide to. And then if you find another bug, all right, you lose your spot in the queue. You got to pull the app and then resubmit it at the back of the queue. And sometimes they've taken so long. We have a new version ready to go that we have to pull off the old version, just put in the new one, and then hope they get it. It's terrible.
Shane.
Whoa.
Let's not blame Apple for your poor coding. I mean, come on. Maybe you write it correctly the first time. It's not Apple's fault.
Oh snap! Here we go.
But the thing is, Eric, you're not insulting. You're not insulting me. You're insulting my coworkers who aren't here to defend themselves. So that's a cheap shot.
Well, then that's their fault. Open invitation. Come on.
Are they from India? I mean, I'm sure there's lots of good Indian coders, but are they?
No, they are from South America, though.
Some of my favorite tech support people are from India.
Yeah. No, but I mean, the thing is, Eric, we like to move fast also. So if we find something that doesn't work, we want to be able to make changes in a week. You think we'd be able to go out, just push out every week, push out a new version without having to think about it. And no matter how good a coder you are, right, there's always bugs, right? There's always things you can improve. There's always optimization. Software is not like you're carving a statue and then you finish it and put it off and sit, and let it sit there. You're constantly changing it. Apple, in my opinion, is user hostile because they hamstring developers. It's just not good. So the fact that Google can make that change and no one notices and everybody's just happy, that is amazing because it has happened twice that we've ever gotten a review done within 24 hours with Apple. So let me give you an example, right, of something that's frustrating and hostile users. We're testing whether or not which works better. In a third-party backend approach to sending out SMS messages or an in-app solution that uses the built-in composer. If users don't like it, right, you have to wait 10 days to change it. And that's terrible when you're trying to iterate quickly.
You let them vote? What do you mean? Users are just send you angry messages or one star, this sucks.
Well, you judge how people respond. You judge how you know.
You're letting the user inflect the direction of your software. Johnny Ive would not approve.
Yeah, Shane, users are dumb and they don't know what they want. You have to give them what they want, and what they want is Attack of the Androids. And pot videos, apparently. Way more of those.
I would say, doesn't those videos get more views than the Attack
They
of the
get
Androids?
so many more views, you guys. You have no idea.
You're here to educate and inform, Matt.
Yeah, no, it's totally awesome. I enjoy doing those more. I get to like smoke weed and shit. But no, it's a funny like to watch the two.
Not surprising though, honestly.
No, not right now at least. It's a very hot topic, a very hot button issue, if you will.
And you moved to a safe state, right?
I did. I'm a weed refugee, Shane. I had to flee my home. Look at this, Shane.
It's a
He's
trail
an
of tears.
internationally displaced person.
This is my heart, and this is Montana, okay? And that's my heart in it still, and this is a tree. My friend drew those, and I wear it every day at the lab to remind myself that one day my legislator will let me live back in my state.
One day I can return to my homeland
And work in the industry
with
of my
my
choice.
plans.
Like true freedom, you guys. True freedom is here somewhere in Washington, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. People from where I live here, Kansas City, is Colorado's close enough that people do make the drive from here.
Ooh, yeah, that's trafficking. Be careful doing that.
I think they get a little more tourist action now from this area than they did before.
Yeah, I think you could start a pretty sweet business/web app of doing weed tours on the down low, all in
The Underground Weed Railroad.
Uh-huh. Just saying. But yeah, it sucks that had to happen. My internet went from 30 meg down, 5 up, to 10 down, 1 up if I'm lucky.
Really? So you're down? What happened? Why is that? Like, I live in the sticks. But
I also live in the sticks now, I guess. No, there's just one DSL provider, and here
is it
they
CenturyLink?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. They're terrible.
They only got 10.1 here. That's it. That's the fastest they go.
Yeah, same here.
But enough weed-related businesses move in, and more people keep getting it. Hopefully they'll upgrade. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. I would think the opposite, because then wouldn't all those people not notice how slow it was? They just wouldn't care.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. They probably came from somewhere where there was CenturyTel. That's what I had before we got cable. Like when I first lived in Montana, there was only CenturyTel. There was no cable.
Yeah.
There was CenturyTel, and then there was another provider that was getting it through CenturyTel. Then they would sell it to you. Oh, it was awesome. And then we got cable.
Well, you could move somewhere you had cable, right?
My LTE is faster. There's Verizon LTE here. My phone, wicked good service here. And I have unlimited. I just don't have like a thing to put it onto this for Hangouts and stuff. I could USB tether it, I suppose, but don't want to do that. DSL's all right. The show works. I mean, this is HD, kind of.
It's the upload that kills the show.
Yeah, well, yeah, I have to wait like 18 minutes to upload one MP3 at like 128K. It's awesome. Let's see. What else do you want to talk about? Eric, pick something to talk about.
Okay. Well, a little call back to last week's episode.
Ooh, yes. Please.
That OnePlus, the hashtag game changer. Yeah. That Reddit thing was correct.
Was it?
Drone.
Was it really?
Yeah, a little mini drone, and it's already sold out because it was only $20. Yeah, they did it. Not sure what that's about. The thought, I think, because they did it on April Fool's, so maybe it was like a practical April Fool's joke where you can. There was an actual product attached.
It's one of those things where it's like, if it bombs, April Fools. If we make $2 billion, then screw it.
If not, we're geniuses.
Yay! We win either way. We'll
Isn't
call
the
it
one-
the Washington Redskins.
Isn't the OnePlus 2 coming out soon?
Ooh, that's 3. Very exciting.
There you go. See, look at that little guy.
That's what's up right there.
Little OnePlus logo, and I like it. It looks like it has like an Ethernet port on it. I'm confused.
I love it. I love
You
that.
can-
That's
This
How
will be
big
like
is
that
it?
Google. It looks very small.
it's so small. Shane, it's so small.
It looks like one of the
5 to 8
mini
minutes of
drones.
flight time.
That seems on average, like when I see these little quadcopters.
Well, there's
it
your
is-
phone, and then that right there next to it. Is that scale? Is that?
Yeah,
That's-
here you go.
Yeah, that's scale.
Whoa,
70
go back.
It's tiny. It's a micro machine, bro.
No. I'm looking at the phone.
Yeah. Oh. Don't look at the phone. Look at the
No,
tiny
go back to the
micro
screen.
machine next to it.
It's right here. Good.
Look
Look,
at
at it, Shane.
Look
Go
at
ahead.
it.
I'll try to see there's a difference between
Make
that
it
and the
full
1+1.
screen.
If,
Make it
if
full
they,
screen.
like,
And then look at it.
I was wondering if they released the 1+2 in there and no one knows it because they're just looking at the droid.
Ooh, Shane. Somebody's
Because if you guys
doing Ingress episodes.
if you guys saw Stephen Condick from Cyanogen's comment that one of the reasons the delay is for Lollipop for the 1+1 is because they're waiting for, he said, we're waiting for certification on the +2. So I
Mhm.
wonder if that meant they're doing another one phone with OnePlus. Which maybe
I
I'll
think I
buy
saw
if the
that
camera
they're-
is a disaster.
Yeah?
Didn't their CEO also tell users that were complaining about software updates for the OnePlus to chill the F out?
Yeah,
He tweet.
he did. You should.
You should, right? People need to hear that. Users,
It's
you need
just
to hear
a phone.
that. Sometimes you're too demanding and you're dicks. So sometimes somebody needs to come along, slap a little taste out your mouth, and tell you to chill the fuck out. And I'm glad that guy did it, and he deserved it, and that's awesome.
I kind of like him.
There's a real entitlement. There's a real entitlement culture we have with phones and all that. You know, like,
Right? Isn't it weird?
and it's like
Very
it's
cultish.
It's just a phone, guys, and you're probably buying the watch, right, to prove that really you
Not a
only
phone,
use the
though.
phone.
Dude, it's more than that. It's not only a status symbol, it is your piece of being able to communicate with everything and everyone on that other end. Like it's you, it's sharing, it's you.
It's a lover. It's a
you.
confidant.
It's her, actually.
I like
It's-
phones, and you can see by my wall of charging here, I have way too many devices, so I really shouldn't be talking. But really,
I like the Swanson pyramid of greatness. I do appreciate that.
yeah. And
Oh,
but they're just phones, so just really relax. It's you'll get the lollipop when you get the lollipop update.
Shane, relaxing doesn't sell phones, bro. You know what sells phones? Thermonuclear war. That sells phones. Competition. Gotta draw a line in the sand and say you're either with us or you're against us. And if you're against us, well, then we're gonna make fun of you and flame you on the internet that we both share via our different devices.
Yeah. And if it's an
You know
Android
what?
device,
I'll tell you. I recently saw this happen in the. There's a thing on the internet lately called Rosin Tech, and pretty much what it has to do with is like people doing extractions and making like dabs, basically, right? Extract oil, herbs, wax.
no idea what you're talking about.
Scatter. Anyway, these all involve lots of extractions, and there's a very like core set of people that are very passionate about this. And along comes some kid that figured out you can take your sister's hair straightener and some parchment paper and put buds in there and run the thing on it and extract dabs without having to do extractions. And this got all over like Facebook and Reddit and everything. But there's this weird divide between the people that do like actual extractions and BHO hating on this other thing that's like, oh, you're just playing, it's just a fad, it's for kids. And it's the same thing. Like it's people getting, because they have nothing else to be like, this is my thing, right? So they find something that's like their phone or their weed extract method, and they find a community online. And then whenever anything else tests it, you see it with podcasts, dude. You can listen to so many different podcasts, but listeners of podcasts like hate on every other podcast because it's not the one they listen to. Like people are dumb. That's what it comes down
Because
to.
it's
is
not attack the androids, Matt.
Exactly. And if you're not listening to Attack the Androids, then fuck you. I mean, that's what I'm pretty much just saying. If you're not using Android or listening to this show on Android, that's all I'm saying.
Dabs.
Dabs, bro. All right, Eric, what's our email address?
Our email address is show@attackoftheandroids.com.
Awesome. Nick, do you have any videos you would like to mention, like that one, please? The recent one.
Oh, the recent one? Well, I did one recently where I repurchased a camera.
A weed purchase?
No.
A
that's
weed
next week.
purchase?
No, it's I rebought this.
Said weed purchase. Go.
But no, I bought a camera, re-unboxed it, and I'm gonna recheck it out to see if it doesn't have the defect that the previous one did. Also, I'm gonna be putting out a review on my channel of the Nexus 9. I got it late, but I finally got it. But one of the things I'll point out is my wife has a newspaper, like the school newspaper, and I did a review for her on the Nexus 9. Put it in there, so I actually got something published of mine. So.
Wait, what is that? What? A news?
A newspaper? Yeah, I know. It's this crazy technology. It's flexible. It's got a bendable screen. It's crazy.
I didn't get your first one, so could you resend it to me, Nick?
Oh.
Because I would use the crap out of that thing.
Was this one of the $99? Like,
Yes.
did you go to Best Buy and get one of the $99 ones?
Yeah. Yeah, I bought the original one for $99 on the ACC Hot Deal site, and it was defective, and I tried getting a replacement, and they basically said they would only give me a refund. So I decided I wasn't going to buy, and at the time the sale ran out because it was like a 1-day or 2-day sale or whatever. So I wasn't going to rebuy it for $200 when I bought it for $100. So I waited until it went on sale again, which was last weekend, and that's when I bought it. So.
But more importantly, can you meerkat with it?
You
What is
can
that?
actually YouTube stream on it.
What is that?
Stream.
What's Meerkat?
It's a live streaming app.
Whoa.
Hold on.
You
What is it?
didn't hear about meerkat?
Is it an iOS thing?
No, it's a.
Well, it's an iOS only, but it was a phenomenon
then
for a while.
Then no, I didn't, and I don't care. So what is it? Never mind, I don't care. Don't tell me.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Nick, earlier, did you say pot deal? Sorry, I just wanted to circle back to that because I'm pretty sure I thought I heard you say pot deal. Sorry.
Maybe.
Shane, do you have an article or something you would like to mention, please?
Yes, I do, and it's so appropriate for the discussion you're just having. It's actually nothing to do with technology. It's a book by John Ronson called "So You've Been Publicly Shamed." And he's written some really. If you guys ever saw the movie "The Men Who Stare at Goats," he's the writer behind that movie.
He writes good stuff.
He writes really good stuff, and the point of the book is how terrible people, how people react and treat other people for very minor transgressions, like, using an Android phone, or when, for example, Android users, when Instagram came up and a bunch of people attacked them. Doesn't apply to people wearing the Apple Edition watch. Those people get all this public shaming they deserve, but it's really about that kind of the problem we have in our culture where people pile on and they love to find people who agree with them and then attack the hell out of people who don't agree with them. And
That's right.
I mean, we joke about iOS sucking, and true or not, we're not. It's mainly said in jest. And I don't think you've ever called on people to publicly shame and humiliate iOS users. But I think for anybody...
My brother. But you know what? I will mention Signal. We talked about this, I think, that is finally out for iOS. So now we can all encrypt our text to each other, which we should all be doing just for fun. Between TextSecure and then now for iOS, it's called Signal. So that's cool.
Okay, well then on that, I guess that was your pick.
No, I'm not picking. I was just mentioning.
But I think this book
forever.
I think this book is important just for anybody on the internet and in this culture and writing. Anyone doing writing, podcasting, calling out people, blah blah blah. I think it's a book that everybody should read because it's really about technology and how awful we are. So.
What's the name again?
It's So You've Been Publicly Shamed.
God, Eric, don't be such a fucking idiot.
By John Ronson. And before people even have read the book, they've tried publicly shaming him about excerpts they've read out of
Oh
it.
my God, Eric. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh man. All right, we have to end the show. Eric,
okay.
I'm so sorry. Eric,
I'm fine.
tell us the email address again, bud. Come on now. It's okay.
It's
Come on out.
show at attackoftheandroids.com.
There you go. All right, bud. It's okay. You just go lay down now. It's bedtime.
Thank you.
It's okay. It's okay.
Night.
Sure, it's okay. Tagoftheandroids.com. Thanks for listening. You guys have a great evening. Goodbye.
Bye.